Hey everybody, failed entrepreneur, crappy videos every day, so subscribe so you don't miss one. And it's not good. It is not pretty out there at all. So yesterday night was, I don't know what they're gonna call this, but there's tons of riots all over the country. I think 30 different cities had some level of protesting, rioting going on yesterday. Minneapolis is a legit war zone from the news. CNN was under siege. Is this a movie? Are we living in a movie again? This is like so surreal. CNN was under siege. Minneapolis was a war zone. And I don't know if he quite did. I went to sleep. I couldn't find anything this morning. But the White House was also like being attacked, and they were talking about evacuating the president from the White House, which has happened, I don't know, just once or twice, right? George W. Bush wasn't there 9/11. Dick Cheney was. And I think Cuban Missile Crisis. I don't know if Kennedy left. No, I think Kennedy actually stayed. But anyway, it was an edgy night yesterday, and of course this is the protests and stuff over the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis, and it's just sad. It's just so very sad. Was talking to a lot of people online about the situation, and the thing I don't get, the thing that frustrates me and a lot of other people, is just the social cover people are giving to this, the acceptance, the rationale, the explaining of these of the vandalism. It's purging. There's purging going on, and there's people that are like totally okay with it. I made a video about it just a day ago after the first night of riots in Minneapolis. So it's been a few days since, but it's gotten way worse. It's expanded to all corners of the country. And I don't get it. I didn't get it then. I get it even less now. I understand that you're angry and fed up, and obviously out of ideas. But this is not the solution. I was in a lot of conversations yesterday night with a lot of different people, just asking one simple question, right? And I'll ask it right here. If anyone can tell, please, please put it in the comments. I haven't found an answer. What is this solving? What's the solution here? What is this adding to the situation, right? What's the end game here? What positive effect do you expect to get out of this? They're like, oh, well, that's enough rioting. Okay, let's sit down and hammer out some anti-police brutality legislation, or this is not how you work for change, right? This is just blatant anger and rage, and to pretend or dress it up as anything else is hypocritical, laughable, a failure. It's a total disconnect from reality, right? How do you stop a senseless act of violence with more random senseless acts of violence? I mean, again, an eye for an eye makes the world go blind. Sorry, two wrongs don't make a right. We say it so often it has no meaning, but again, what purpose is this serving right now? It's just people wanting to vent and to rage, and the people that are doing that are one set of issues, but everyone else who's safe at home, on their phone, on their computer, using those Twitter muscles they have, it's easy to stand back and throw someone else's community under the bus when yours is perfectly fine and safe. But it's just the total lack of respect on both sides here. But and I think thinking about it, talking to people, looking at things. I mean, I'm a history teacher, so I don't have certain points of view that others do. But I have historical point of view. And it's just, if I was going to boil this down to one thing, it's just a lack of respect. There's such a lack of respect in this country right now. There's no respect for authority. There's no respect for the law. There's no respect for government. There's no respect for teachers. There's no respect for family. People have no respect for themselves. There's just no respect anymore. Nobody has any. And respect is very much a two-way street, right? How can you get respect? How can you earn respect? How can you get respect from others when you can't even have it yourself? And that's the problem here, right? We got police not respecting the people that they're supposed to serve. We got the public not respecting the police. They're there to protect them. And it's just the law and order society breaks down when that social contract is being shredded and destroyed. Minneapolis is, like I said, legit a war zone. Not hyperbole, not exaggeration. They sent in the military this morning because they couldn't. They stormed and burned down a police precinct the other day. They sent in the National Guard yesterday night. The National Guard was overwhelmed. They had to retreat, abandon. You have to retreat from an American city because you couldn't safely protect the people's lives and property there. You got gas stations being torched, cars being torched, homes being torched, and they're not even letting the fire department come in, which I don't understand why they would try. It's an unsafe place to be. You got truckers, stories of them getting hijacked. You had police officers getting shot. You have police officer being killed in Oakland. This is, in the places where this is happening, it is a total breakdown of law and order in society. It's the Purge movies come to life, and with no law enforcement, heaven forbid you're in Minnesota right now. Stay inside, lock and key, protect yourself, because if anyone comes into your house at night, you can't call the police. You can't call anyone to help you. If your property, if your house, your car, your business caught fire, hope you got a hose. I don't know, because ain't no one able to come in and save you. This community has torn itself apart. This morning, there's a story. All the people arrested in Minneapolis yesterday night, none of them live in Minneapolis. They're all from other places. You got people coming in to cause chaos and problems there, and the people in Minneapolis, like the people who live there, the police, they can't keep those people out. I don't know, it's like what you read about or hear about in Iraq when ISIS comes into some town and takes it over, and the people have to kind of begrudgingly sit by and let them burn it all and destroy it to the ground. And like, that's what's happening in America 2020 as we speak, because Minneapolis can't keep its citizens, it can't keep its cities safe. A loss for work. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand how this happens. I don't get how it got this way. I don't get, again, what this is trying to solve. I don't see how raiding the electronics department of a Target is going to bring justice to George Floyd. I'm sorry. It's not good, and it's gotten out of hand. And if you got a part of society that just is refusing to, like I said, obey that social contract, keep others safe. I mean, you can protest and voice your opinions. I get that. This is not a protest, and anyone that says that it is, and there are, needs to look up the meaning of the word. They have a different tune if it was their car being protested or their home that was being thrown under the protest bus. I think they would word things a little differently. But just to see all of this craziness, and then people calling it protesting. Someone was killed during a protest. That's not a protest. The language can be so twisted and perverted is not new. It's not the first time this has happened. But just, it's how bad things have gotten. And things are bad. It's surreal. And where I'm living, I think they tried to start a riot in my capital. I live in Arizona. I think they tried to do something in Phoenix a couple days ago. We're pretty okay here when it comes to stuff like that. Phoenix is very diverse, right? We got a large Hispanic population. We got a lot of whites, African. We got people from all over that live here. So if there's a melting pot, we got a lot of queso in ours, right? But it's pretty melty, so it's not in these other different areas, and of course things are different there. But I don't. Again, I'm sorry. There's no excuse for this. These people that are acting this way, these people that are apologizing for this, they have a total lack of respect and authority. And again, like I said, it's easy to sit back and commentate. Case in point, hey, that's exactly what I'm doing now. No illusions. But again, to sacrifice someone else's community and someone else's property is kind of pussy. And sorry, but unless it's your house being burned down and you're cool with it, I think you better walk back some of those comments and take a look in the mirror and really think hard about how you are contributing. How are you trying to solve this, and what's your part in the problem? Because giving these people social cover and excusing these actions away is just going to lead down to more encouragement, more breakdown of respect, more breakdown of law and order, and that can quickly spread. That can quickly give people wrong ideas on how country works, and better watch out because it may not be in your city yet. I'm sure Minneapolis didn't think it would be in their city. I'm sure Ohio, capital of Ohio, Cleveland didn't. Their courthouse was destroyed yesterday. I'm sure Washington D.C. didn't think. I'm sure Atlanta didn't think that. CNN, but these are dangerous forces that anarchy basically, and you want to see how dangerous it is. Look around the world in other parts of other nations, other states. They're going through this right now. And once you let that genie out of the bottle, it's difficult to put it back. So we will see how things develop as we go into, I think tonight will be night 5. I'm afraid it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. There are reports coming out, initial autopsies about George Floyd, that he didn't die from strangulation. And in some sad, tragic way, it would be easier if he was just straight murdered on the street, but the autopsy I think revealed he didn't die of strangulation, and now the family is actually asking for a second autopsy, a second opinion, because it's what the autopsy shows didn't fit the narrative, and that again, if someone's dying in front of you as a police officer, you should protect that man, help that man. So I'm not excusing at all what happened, but the idea that we think this man was killed by being choked to death, initial autopsy says that may not be the case. The family wouldn't be asking for a second opinion if that first one kind of didn't fit the bill. So I'm afraid, I'm a little worried of what's going to happen when that maybe gets more widespread, or if the second autopsy confirms and maybe the first autopsy was wrong and the second autopsy does find out that maybe, again, it's all speculation right now, but to jump the gun and just to act this way and be so brazenly disrespectful of the things that do bring us together, and to claim to want justice against a senseless act of violence by perpetuating and encouraging and looking the other way for other acts of senseless violence, again, it makes no sense. And if you're that type of person, please, like I said, explain to me in the comments how this makes any sense and how this adds. You had such a great opportunity at the beginning of this when things were coming out and things were still peaceful. I think this is something we can all get behind, right? I don't think there's many people who would say that the way the police acted was warranted or justified, and there was an opportunity there to really, I don't know, make something powerful out of this, and maybe imagine this, bring the country together behind a common idea or goal or ambition, or something to fix and solve. But that opportunity's gone. Any sympathy from someone like me, it's gone now, because I can't support this. I'm sorry. The actions don't fit the crime, and the crime may not even be what we think it is at this moment. So wasted opportunities, squandered chances. This happens all the time in American history. So I'm not surprised. I'm not even angry. I'm just sad that this is just a complete and utter failure and erosion of my country is what it seems. I don't know how else to say it. Yesterday night, the United States looked like a third world country, and that's hard to believe, and it may be even worse tonight. We will see. So that's my thoughts. Probably not the last video on this. If you are in one of those places, like I said, please be safe, because in places like Minneapolis, and maybe the military there changes things, but it's a dicey situation, and balls in these protesters' courts. And if you're going to purge, just like in the movies, you better be willing to accept some of the consequences that come from that, because you just can't have society wither away in a road like this. It's not how we work. And you may think people have your back, but I don't think the support is as strong as you may believe, and it's probably getting smaller, not bigger, every day. Maybe I'm wrong, but we will see. So, all right, failed entrepreneur, thanks for watching. I got stuff to do today. You do too. Be safe. Appreciate it, and stay safe.